Before you buy another eyeshadow palette, make sure to watch all the do's and don'ts of buying an eyeshadow palette so that when you buy it, you actually use it instead of it collecting just dust in your collection. My name is Imuskan Hingorani and I'm a professional makeup artist, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you the do's and don'ts before buying an eyeshadow palette. So let's get started. So let's start with the do first, as I want to start the video on a positive note, okay? So do buy eyeshadow palettes which use up full space. Now what do I mean by that? Okay, for example, this palette, okay? As you can see, it has very few gaps in between. The eyeshadows are amongst the line of this. Like you can see how much less space is wasted in between. Okay, so now why this? Because this creates a smaller palette. It uses up the full space in palette, and hence when you're traveling or even when you're storing it in your collection, it will use up less space. Hence using the palette to its fullest capacity, as well as making more storage place for you. Similarly, the do I said, the don't follows it. So don't buy eyeshadow palettes which have many gaps in between eyeshadows. So I don't have any such palette with me, but I'll be inserting pictures so that you know what I'm talking about. So there are many palettes which will have just 4-5 shades or 8 shades and will use up a lot of space in between just to create a very unique or very different design, okay? But those are not user friendly. In such palettes, mostly the shades are not even like cohesive, or you cannot even use them properly together. You will have to grab another palette to use them. So that's a don't to keep in mind when buying an eyeshadow palette. Until unless you love that formula or you love that brand absolutely, I don't suggest buying such palettes which have a lot of space in between. The next is a don't again, okay? So don't buy huge, humongous, bulky palettes, okay? So what do I mean by that? There are many collections. These are mostly with TV shows or with some characters or shows basically, and many brands create such huge, humongous palettes, okay, and which have majority of the packaging and only a very small amount of makeup. Like most is the packaging on it, okay? So unless you are a collector of makeup or you like collecting makeup just for collecting it and a lot, like just main purpose is you like to collect, or if you like, if you are a very big fan of that show, unless you are one of those, please don't buy these eyeshadow palettes because they are first of all not at all user friendly. You won't actually put that bring that palette out of your drawer for everyday wear. Okay, let's be honest here, you won't do that every day, so it won't get used as much as a small palette would, okay, or like a medium sized palette would. So don't buy such bulky palettes, and plus it will take a lot of space in your collection, and in the end most people when they declutter and they say it was just collecting dust in my collection. So it makes no sense to buy such a huge palette if you are not a collector of makeup. No offense to any collector by any means. Sorry, if you are, you do you. If you like doing that, by all means go ahead and do that. But I'm not bashing you or anything. But it's just my opinion that if you're not a collector and if you like to use makeup just for actually using it, so yeah, I won't suggest you to buy such bulky palettes. Don't buy big eyeshadow palettes which have very similar shades in them. Again, I'll be putting pictures. I don't have any. So what I mean by this, okay, so especially for like mattes, okay, unless the color story is very different, okay, if the color story has a lot of shades and it's in a big palette, it makes no sense to buy a big palette with a lot of similar shades in it, because in the end they all look very similar on the eyes. Okay, so if they will look very similar in the eyes, it makes literally no sense to buy a huge palette because you won't use those colors. And plus there is also one more don't because of why I'm saying this, which I'll be saying next. So yeah, but the main reason is because if they look same on the eyes, it makes no sense for you to buy that, because again you won't use it up, you won't use it to its fullest component. You will get similar looks on your eyes, and at the end you will again keep it back because you are getting all similar looks on your eyes, so you'll be bored by it, right? Instead, buy a palette which has a good color story to it, which you know you will be, when you see it, you will be excited to play with it, excited to create new looks, and it has a very good different color story to it. So again, the another don't why I told you not to buy big eyeshadow palettes. Now I'm not saying all the big eyeshadow palettes are bad. Please don't take me wrong in that way. I also like to see big eyeshadow palettes, but you need to be careful when you are buying them too, because the bigger the palette, the bigger the price, and so you need to be sure that you are buying a good quality one. Okay, so yeah, there are many good quality ones as well, and yeah, but they are mostly from high-end price. Okay, I've hardly seen any drugstore brand do a very big eyeshadow palette at a very affordable price and of actually good quality. Okay, I'm not saying there are no brands that do this. I'm sure there would be brands that do this and I'm not aware of them, but in most cases what I have seen and what I have noted is what I'm telling you to make you aware about it. Okay, so if they are giving you a very big eyeshadow palette at a very cheaper price and they are making profit out of it, chances are they are definitely compromising on the quality. This is the reason why I'm telling you, if at all you are buying a big eyeshadow palette, make sure that you check. Now this is a do. I'm coming to a do now. Do check the review of any eyeshadow palette that you are buying. Okay, because there are chances that if it is launched, it has a new review on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, please make sure to check reviews before you invest your money in any eyeshadow palette. Again, because it's your hard-earned money or your parents' hard-earned money, you don't want to waste it on anything that is not worth it. Do check the review of any palette that you're going to be buying, especially big and cheaper prices one, because most of the time they are of not good quality. So yeah, it's all to mislead you that yeah, we are giving you so many shades at such a cheap price, go ahead, get it, what's there to lose? No, please, they are a brand. At the end of the day, they are a business. There are, by no means am I saying that there are no brands with cheaper price and good quality big eyeshadow palettes. Sure, there would be some, definitely, but I'm talking about the majority spectrum. Okay, so yeah, I know this 2 points got a bit mixed, so I just remember, don't buy big eyeshadow palettes at a cheaper price, and do check the reviews of these eyeshadow palettes, basically any eyeshadow palette that you're going to be buying, so that you know what you're buying is good quality. Now coming to a don't. Okay, don't buy eyeshadow palettes which have both cream and powder formulations to them. Okay, so you know how much I love multitasking and everything, but still I won't suggest you to buy eyeshadow palettes which have both, like they have cream formulation as well and they have a powder formulation as well. Why, you ask, is because what will happen is when you use your powder eyeshadows or powder blush or powder contour, anything, it will have some fallback. Okay, how much ever good the palette is, how much ever less kickback it is, there will be some kickback, some at least, which will go in the cream part. Okay, which will mess up with the formula of the cream part. Okay, so when you apply the cream one, it will not be the best to apply it. Okay, because it will have that fallout on it. You will have to clean it, you will have to apply it then. Okay, so I won't suggest you buy such mixed palettes, because again they won't be worth your money, because at the end you won't just use the cream shades, because you'll be like, who will clean every time when I'm using it? Again, you'll get bored of it, and most of the times it will again collect dust in your vanity, because you will be like, who will get it out, who will use it, it collects dust over here and there. So just don't buy mixed palettes. Buy your cream products or cream eyeshadows even differently, on your powder eyeshadows differently. This is again a don't. Okay, don't. If there is one don't you are actually going to follow from all of this video, it has to be this. Okay, don't buy fake eyeshadows. Okay, if you have seen my another videos, you know how I feel about this. So yeah, I literally despise this fake concept, because you don't know where they are firstly manufactured. Okay, you don't know their quality. you don't know their ingredients, you don't know anything that goes into them which can potentially harm your eyes. Plus, since they are fake, you have nobody to blame. Who will you go and blame? Because they are fake. There is no authorized seller of theirs, no authorized brand name of theirs. So I have seen fake Huda, fake MAC. I've seen a lot of fake eyeshadow palettes being sold, and you should stay away from them as much as possible. If you are looking to buy an eyeshadow palette, and if you are looking to buy a fake one, it's because you think the original one is not worth their money, just don't at all buy any other palette, because it can damage your eyes. Your eyes are a very important part of you. You don't want to be playing with them. Don't apply eyeshadow. It would be fine, but don't buy fake palettes. I have seen documentaries in where they show where they are made, in how unhygienic conditions are they made, and I've seen it just is so disturbing to see that, because that is not what you want to put on your eyes. Okay, there is a documentary on Netflix. I'm forgetting the name right now, but I'll tell it in the description box below, so just check it. I will just name it there. I don't know why, because I've forgotten the name, but in that I've shown how the reality of such fake products. Okay, so don't buy these fake eyeshadow palettes, any fake eyeshadow thing, lipsticks, anything. Don't buy anything fake. It is not worth your money. Buy drugstore, buy from a brand which is authorized. Plus, please don't buy. Next is a dupe. Okay, now this is for people who are already into makeup and do have a bit knowledge about eyeshadow palettes, like they own a few. Okay, so if you already own a few eyeshadow palettes, by now you might know the kind of formula that you prefer or that you like. Okay, so there are very powdered matte eyeshadows, there are pressed pigments, like literally very pigmented, and you have to be very careful when you're blending them. And there are foiled eyeshadows, like literal metallics, like very metallic eyeshadow. So and there are very satin like eyeshadow palettes. There are palettes which are medium pigmented, not very much pigmented. Many people even like those because they are easy to blend, and if you are a beginner, even if you put a lot of it, then it won't show up that much, because it's not very pigmented. Okay, so there are different type of formulation, different types of eyeshadows. So if you know already that which eyeshadow formula that you like, go and again, like, prefer those formulas over the ones you don't like, and check those points in reviews. Okay, so when you're seeing the reviews, check for those points, whether they are saying, if you like foil metallics, so see if that the person is saying yes, it has foil metallics. Okay, so that will help you make better decision as to if the palette is actually right or buy for you or not. Next is again a don't. Okay, don't buy colorful eyeshadow palettes if you know you won't use them. Okay, now this is for people who are neutral lovers, who love neutral eyeshadows, and they actually wear their eyeshadows a lot of time very new. Okay, if you are just stepping into colorful eyeshadows and you want to experiment, buy one palette, maximum two, to see if you actually like playing with color. I've always been a browns and neutrals person, and if you are starting to venture towards colorful, then fine, buy one or two to see if you actually like it. But if you are a person, you know you won't use it, colorful, very colorful eyeshadow palettes, when you know you won't be reaching out for them, makes no sense. I see people giving it to the hype, or just because it has a lot of shades, since colorful ones do. They think that, oh wow, I'm getting so many colorful shades, I can use them this, but internally you do know that you are a neutral lover and you will end up picking the neutrals over there. So just don't buy such palettes if you know you won't use them. Okay, your heart knows it. Okay, so yeah, if you're just venturing out, then by all means go ahead and buy one or two to see if you actually like it. But just don't keep on buying all the colorful eyeshadow palettes if they are just collecting dust and you know you will not be reaching out. Don't buy a neutral eyeshadow palette with just one or two pop-up shades. Okay, it's a tip for people who are already into makeup, who already own a few eyeshadow palettes, and obviously if you're starting your collection, you would be having a neutral palette as well. Like most of shades would be neutral because that most people use. Okay, so what these brands are nowadays trying to trick us into doing is they will put just 2 or 1 or maximum 3 pop-up shades in a neutral palette, and the rest palette is full neutral, and try and trick us into buying them. Okay, so if you already do own many neutral eyeshadow palettes, you don't need another one just for that 1 or 2 pop-up shades. Okay, that's just a marketing strategy making you believe that, oh, I'm getting a new shade and everything like that, and I'll be obviously using the neutral shades because I do like neutrals and all that. It's just a marketing strategy, people. Beware. Okay, so I have seen this point talked a lot by Whitney Hendrick. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Whitney Hendrick. Okay, so she says also in many of her videos that we as consumers should be aware that we are not getting tricked into by that. Okay, so yeah, don't buy eyeshadow palettes with just 1 or 2 pop-up shades. If you like that shade so much, buy a single shade from another brand or any other company that has a similar shade and buy that and add it to your collection. Don't buy a whole eyeshadow palette for just 1 shade. Leave it. Now it's time for bonus tip. Okay, so like my every time ritual here on my videos, I do give a bonus tip if you yet already don't know. Okay, today's bonus tip is, okay, so if you are a person who likes to buy international makeup which is not easily available in India, and it is via, like, it is not even available on Nykaa or Sephora, okay, and so you want to buy it from any Insta seller. Okay, so I have seen this happen with the people I know, so I'm telling you this. So many such sellers, in the name of authentic products, they sell unauthentic fake. Okay, I'm not saying that all are like that. Many, in fact, there are many which are trusted, which have proper websites even, and like proper everything, and they do sell genuine, authentic international makeup. Okay, so the sea of so many, it is hard for you if you are a beginner and you just want to buy it for the first time. It is hard for you to differentiate. Okay, so what a safe side thing you can do is just ask the seller for the receipt of the eyeshadow palette they bought. As simple as that. Just tell them that if you have bought this eyeshadow palette truly from an international website of whatever brand you're saying, then please just show me the receipt. Even if they have brought it from there, they would have a receipt, right, that they have bought it. Okay, so ask them for the receipt so that you know it is authentic. You are a customer, it's your right to know if it's authentic or not. Okay, so if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram for more my updates and everything. So yeah, till my next video, bye bye.